Hey guys, welcome back to Popcorn in Bed. Thank you for being here. We are back in Star Trek TNG. The last thing I watched was the season finale of the end of season 3 and the first episode of season 4, the best of both worlds. And it was the best Star Trek of the Next Generation I have seen yet. It made me so excited. And then we had a poll for which episodes I was going to watch in season 4. So I'm going to watch 4 more episodes from season 4, but also the season finale, two-parter of season 4 and beginning of season 5. So today I'm watching Family, and I was really hoping this one would win. It's the episode right after the best of both worlds, and I saw in the description that it said that the team goes back to Earth and enjoys some downtime while the ship's being fixed. And I love a backstory. I love a downtime episode. I want to see their families and all that. So I'm so excited that this one won. This is the one I'm watching first, and I'm so excited to start season 4 with you guys. Okay, so I will be watching Family, episode 7, Brother, episode 11, Dada's Day, and episode 21, Drumhead. Okay, let's get started. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Here's my Patreon if you want to watch full-length watch-alongs, early access, and talk with all of our movie lovers. Okay.
The Enterprise remains docked at McKinley Station, undergoing a major overhaul and refit following the Borg incident. I'm confident that the ship and her crew will soon be ready to return to service.
Continue with the testing, Mr. Worf. Here's the final schedule for the shore leave and for the personnel transfer. By the way, I'm looking forward to meeting your parents.
See?
They're on the visitors list. You didn't know?
It is inappropriate for a Klingon to receive family while on duty. As humans, my parents do not understand.
Well, I'm not sure that I would either, Worf. If you don't want to see your parents, that's your business. But we don't get back to Earth that often. Mr. Worf.
Be nice to your parents.
If you worry that they might learn about what happened on the Klingon planet.
I have already informed them by correspondence of my discommendation.
Oh, he's talking about what happened with his brother.
Where have you decided to go?
France, Lavar, my home village.
I want to go with him there.
It's home. Do I need another reason?
I don't know. What do you think?
I'm better. The injuries are healing.
Those you can see in the mirror.
All I need now is a little time to myself.
It's just that the choice of where you're
I
going.
wish to believe my going home is a direct result of being held captive by the Borg.
Is that what you believe?
I hate it when you do that.
You do need time.
Why doesn't she want him to go home to his home village?
Have a good trip, Captain.
Okay, can I just say that when they first opened this scene, he was in the bathroom, like in this, I thought he was wearing a robe and she was standing behind, and I thought there was a thing going on. I thought like they were waking up from the morning in their robes, and I wasn't totally against them having a thing, even though I kind of want her and Riker to hook up, and I want him and the Doctor, Dr. Crusher. But for a second, space, the final frontier.
These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise.
They still have not signaled.
No, sir.
My mother is never on time.
It's gonna be my kids saying that about me.
I wish they would come so it would begin and end sooner.
I know what you mean, Lieutenant.
This Earth Station Barbaros. Transport aboard.
Mother, father.
Worf.
You look good, son. Can you imagine an old enlisted man like me raising a boy to be an officer?
Your father has been so looking forward to this.
Oh,
Your hair is a little longer, isn't it, Worf?
they're sweet. Oh, I'm so glad we picked this episode, guys.
All right, whoever you are, I can hear you. Oh, good Lord. A highwayman, a robber who attacks travelers, but none have been reported in this vicinity for centuries.
But I'm not a robber.
Oh, I'm much relieved, sir.
You are my nephew, Jean-Luc, from the Starship Enterprise.
Then you must be my Uncle Rene.
I'm not your uncle. It's the other way around.
Too bad. I rather enjoyed the idea.
Father says you don't like it here.
I'm sure you misunderstood.
No, I didn't. He said so.
Perhaps it's time to change all that.
You don't seem so
Arrogant?
Yes.
Leave it to the kids. What do they wear on Earth in
Jean-Luc.
whatever year this is? 3,000 years in the future?
It's so good to finally meet you.
We've never met.
I might be imposing. I could very easily stay in the village.
It's your home and it will always be your home.
Someday I'm going to be a starship captain.
You look exactly like Robert when he was your age. I half expect to see myself as a boy come running out of that door to play.
You arrived at last. Welcome home, Captain.
I met Marie and Rene.
Good.
It's, good to see you.
Wow. That's cool. There was something that happened there between those two brothers, I think.
Will and I have been talking about going back to Angel Falls.
Will and I. Are they a thing? I didn't miss that, did I?
Something from home?
I left it here in storage a long time ago after Jack died. Odds and ends mostly.
What's that?
It's for Wesley from Jack. Maybe I was just trying to forget it. Jack recorded a holographic message for Wesley just after he was born. It was a gift for him when he grew up. Jack was going to make many more of them. He never had the chance.
Oh.
Are you afraid of what it might say?
No, I just don't know if it'll do more harm than good.
So we walk into the school, and we didn't know what to expect. If Wolfhard is in some kind of trouble, the door opens, and there is our little 7-year-old sitting on a chair, glaring across the room at 5 teenage boys, all of them with bloody noses.
The principal looked up and said, "Please, tell me he's an only child."
How about giving us a look at the new engine corps? I used to be a warp field specialist on the old Excelsior class.
You two go ahead. Your father will be out.
If you have a couple of minutes, there's something else I want to ask you.
Wait.
The mayor wants to give you a parade. Give you the keys to the city.
No.
Well, I've already warned the mayor not to make any plans without talking to us.
Thank you.
It looks
So,
like they time traveled backwards, which is kind of comforting. You know, they can like explore space and have phasers and all that, but still enjoy.
cooking is becoming a lost art. That's your wretched technology again.
Robert and I have had more than a few discussions about getting a replicator in the house.
Life is already too convenient.
This is a very old argument.
I wrote a report on starships for school.
And he won a ribbon for it.
Good for you, Uncle.
Uncle.
I once wrote a report on starships when I was about your age.
Did you win a ribbon too?
I don't recall.
Of course you won the ribbon. You always did.
Ooh.
Why don't you go and get it, and then you can read it to your uncle?
It's hard enough to protect him from all that's out there without you encouraging him.
You weren't so narrow-minded. You allowed him to see the world as it really is.
You raise your own sons as you would wish, and allow me to do the same with mine.
Yikes.
You always reach for the future, and your brother for the past.
There should be room for both in this life.
Like his riding boots and Deepy. So cute.
There's just one thing I don't understand. You were such a rotten swimmer, Lewis. Thinking of you working on the ocean floor. How do you plan to accelerate the buildup on the underside of the mantle?
Truth is, we don't know.
We used harmonic resonators to relieve the tectonic pressures on Dramer 4. Obviously, it's not the same problem.
You know, it's such a shame. The government is looking for someone to take over the project. A real leader who'll go in there and get things moving, and they are looking for you. But I know, you'd never leave Starfleet.
No, I'd never leave Starfleet.
That's what I thought.
Where's Geordi's family
It's a great
and
crew, son.
Riker's?
And they think the world of you.
I wish you would be a little more reserved.
We go too far sometimes.
We're just excited to be here.
They were fine. Why is that making me so sad?
You know, sooner or later, everyone comes in here. They stand by those windows and they look out and they stare. They're looking for that little star they call home. Doesn't matter how far away it is.
Yes, Guinan's wisdom will heal us.
There's something I would like to ask you. How come you never gave him prune juice?
I beg your pardon?
They said he'd never had it till he came here. Now he can't get enough of it.
He never wanted any human food while he was growing up.
It was a difficult adolescence.
But you got through it,
We didn't do anything special.
didn't you? Just look at him.
We had to let him discover and explore his heritage by himself. Let him find his own path.
So many parents could learn so much from the two of you.
I'm afraid that Worf feels that we do not understand him.
Well, part of him may feel that way. There's another part that I've seen. Part that comes in and drinks prune juice. Part that looks out the window towards home. He's not looking towards the Klingon Empire. He's looking towards you.
Oh, I just got goosebumps. That's what every parent wants to know, that they just did a good job and
Are you all right?
the best they could.
Seems to have made a rather disturbing discovery. Lewis mentioned that the Atlantis project needed a director, and I found myself actually thinking about it. The Enterprise?
Considering what you've just been through,
No, it's not that. Or is it?
maybe you and your brother might even get to like one another.
I already like his choice in wives.
Oh.
I've had a few ideas.
Wonderful. We should discuss them with the Board of Governors. I've set up a meeting.
A meeting?
Just a preliminary conversation. At least listen to them, Jean-Luc.
No! He belongs on the Enterprise in space, exploring.
Your father made it a few weeks after you were born. He felt it was important to say certain things and to make sure that he didn't forget to tell you them later.
That's a good idea. I should do that for my kids.
Enter.
Enter.
I thought you were going to your quarters to sleep.
We just came by to tuck you in.
When I heard you were on the visitors list, I was not sure I wanted you to come. I am glad you are here.
Oh, thank you, Worf. Give them something.
We know what kind of man you are.
Whatever you did, we know it was for a good reason.
I must bear my dishonor alone.
I'm sorry if this is too human of us, but whatever you are suffering, you must remember we are with you.
And that we're proud of you. And that we love you.
You are our son.
Mind if I ask you a question? What the devil happened to you up there?
Is this brotherly concern?
No,
You know what happened.
not precisely. I gather you were hurt, humiliated. I've always thought you needed a little humiliation.
Oh, boy.
Either would do.
It's not very nice. He just seems insecure, though.
Why do you walk away?
Tired of fighting with you, Robert.
Tired of the Enterprise, too? That isn't the brother that I remember.
Can we?
Still, I suppose it must have seemed like an ideal situation.
You so jealous?
Yes, damn it. Always so jealous, and I had a right to be. I was always your brother. It was my job to look after you.
You were a bully.
Sometimes I even enjoyed bullying you.
Okay, I don't think I like him very much.
Did you come back because you wanted me to look after you again?
Damn you!
Oh. Boys.
You have been terribly hard on yourself.
You don't know. They took everything I was. He used me to kill and to destroy, and I couldn't stop. I should have been able to stop them. I tried so hard. I wasn't strong enough. I should have been able to stop.
My brother is a human being after all. This is going to be with you a long time, Jean-Luc, a long time. You have a simple choice now. Live with it below the sea with Louis or above the clouds with the Enterprise.
I didn't come back so that you could help me.
I still don't like you, Jean-Luc.
Was that good?
What happened here?
It's entirely my fault.
We both together. We both fell down.
Have you two been fighting?
No, certainly not.
What would your father say if he saw you like this?
Probably send us both to bed without any supper.
Well, perhaps it's just as well you got it out of your systems.
I think that kind of did help.
Contact. Lewis, cancel the meeting with the Board of Governors at the time that I was going. The ship will be ready to leave orbit soon, and I belong aboard. If I should ever doubt that again, I know where to come.
Load program Crusher 1.
Program complete.
Run program. Hello, Wesley. As I make this recording, you are about 10 weeks old. I wanted you to know who I am today. You see, this Jack Crusher won't exist by the time you're all grown up. I'll be older, more experienced, and hopefully a little wiser. And I want you to know who your father was when you came into the world. I hope you don't grow up resenting the fact that I was gone so much. That comes with this uniform. Maybe you'll understand when you get this recording. Maybe you'll even want to try one of these on. I can see in your face all the people I've loved in my lifetime.
Oh, what a sweet
Our
thing to
family.
say.
I can see me in you too, and I can feel that you're my son. I don't know how to describe it, but there's this connection, this bond. I'll always be a part of you, Wesley. Goodbye, Dad.
Come back and see us again.
Take care. Uncle?
Me too. Someday, I'll be leaving for my starship too.
Well, there's plenty of time for that. You may decide to do something else as you get older.
He's like, nah. I don't like the grapes either.
Do not drink it all at once. And if possible, try not to drink it alone.
Captain, welcome back. These are my parents, Helena and Sergei Roshenko.
Delighted.
By the ship you have here, Captain. I have all the specs and diagrams at home.
He's still out there. Dreaming about starships and adventures. It's getting late.
Yeah, but let him dream.
That was sweet and complicated, but he found his purpose again. If you would have told me at the beginning of the show that I would have a crush on Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart, I would not have believed you, but here I am, full heart eyes for him. I really liked seeing that side of him. I liked seeing that side of everyone on the ship a little bit. I mean, I wanted to see even more family. I love Meet the Parents Day. But it was sweet. It was really sweet to see where he came from, and although him and his brother obviously have a complicated relationship, I think they left understanding each other a little bit more. Although he was just not very, I just wanted him to smile and not be so crotchety. Worf, I also feel like it's also a complicated relationship, but they also left feeling like they understood each other a little bit more. It was interesting to hear that growing up, he felt detached from his Klingon heritage. He only would eat Klingon food. And anyways, the next episode I'm going to watch, it looks like we're going to see Worf going back to the Klingon kingdom for reunion. I'm not sure the Klingon arc is my favorite. I don't really like going to their planet as much, but I did like his wife. Were they wife? I don't really understand, but we shall see. Anyways, okay, I also was reading the episode descriptions of the one between Family and here, and it seems like we met Lore again. It seems like Wesley disappeared the crew, and Captain Picard saved a possibly abused little boy. So I might just have to go watch those in between because those sound good. But for now, I'm going to watch Reunion, Episode 7. Here we go.
Captain's log, stardate 44246.
44246._342.
I can detect no abnormalities in the star's radiant energy.
Prepare 2 Class 1 probes. Initiate launch sequence.
Klingon attack cruiser decloaking.
On screen.
We are being hailed.
Hello, Captain Picard.
It's her.
It's good to see you again, Captain. Lieutenant Worf.
How may we be of assistance, Ambassador?
Permission to come aboard.
Granted. Lieutenant, please receive our guest.
Captain.
Lieutenant, you are a member of this crew. You will not go into hiding whenever a Klingon vessel uncloaks.
I withdraw my request, sir.
Poor Worf.
Ready to transport 2 from the Klingon vessel.
Is that who I think it is?
Space. The final frontier.
Would that timing work out from that time in the holodeck where they you know?
To explore strange new worlds.
Does that get you pregnant as a Klingon?
Before.
I'm gonna just let the episode show me.
I hope you'll be all right. Alexander hasn't had much contact with other children.
Perhaps you are not aware of my dishonor.
I've heard.
You may not respect our traditions, but I do.
I just thought you might want to talk. A few minutes ago, you looked like someone with a question to ask.
Must I ask the question?
You must.
She's making him work for it. Is that his son or not? Just tell the man.
What should I tell Alexander? That he has no father?
2 factions are trying to seize power.
You believe there is a threat to the Federation in this struggle?
Sooner or later, they'll drag in the neighboring star systems. Only Kimpak, the head of the council, has been able to maintain the peace.
I remember Kimpak.
Kimpak is dying. He is aboard the cruiser. He has come specifically to meet with you, Captain.
About time you arrived, Picard.
They just really need some better lighting on this ship. Some warm lights could do a lot.
I need your help.
The Enterprise Medical Facility can't do anything to help.
Too late. I have been poisoned with small doses of Iridium-6. The wine. After I die, you will act in my name to arbitrate the struggle for power.
I will.
I have my reasons for wanting that outsider.
A Federation officer has no business in
Nonsense. I've already sent the order. The leaders of the opposing 2 factions are on their way. The 2 strongest challengers fight for the right of succession. Only you can designate those challengers.
But you have just said there are only 2 challengers arriving. What is the point?
I want you to discover which one of them has killed me.
By poison.
Gowron or Duras.
Duras, that was who accused Worf, right?
He must not lead the Empire. Such a man would be capable anything.
So this is an investigation and a mediation. And basically he's in charge of stopping a civil war, so no pressure. Poor dying man should be able to be in some comfier clothes.
Kempek, who ruled the Klingon Empire longer than anyone in history, is dead. We await the arrival of Duras and Gowron.
There is no honor in attacking the weak.
I would have won.
You must earn victory.
Where are the other Klingons?
It's like a
There are no others on board.
Why?
A warrior does not ask so many questions.
I don't want to be a warrior.
Well, you're back early.
He made me leave.
Same haircut, too.
He knows nothing of our ways.
You mean Klingon ways, don't you?
He is Klingon.
I am half human. He will find his own ways.
Why did you not tell me?
And what would you have done? You would have insisted that we take the oath, just as tradition would demand.
You should not have kept this from me.
Well, now you know.
No pressure.
As my son, he would also bear my disgrace, as would his children.
Why did you accept discommendation from the High Council?
Tell her.
Father was accused of collaborating with the Romulans at Kittimer. Ultimately, I withdrew my challenge.
But why, Worf? I can't believe you what really happened.
He found out that it was all a lie. They were trying to cover up their own dishonor.
Exactly 1 hour, Picard. Do not be late.
Show some respect.
Keep that Patak away from the ceremony, Picard.
It's your
He
fault.
has no place on a Klingon ship.
Gosh, he was helping you and your disgraced dad, Rufus.
Permission to speak freely, sir.
Granted.
Duras must not be allowed to lead the council.
Duras.
He has a legal claim, Mr. Worf.
Duras is a traitor.
Treason was his father's crime.
Yeah, but then he conspired to...
Blame on your father.
Yes.
Do not forget that.
Thank you. Oh, he's so fair.
The issue now is whether or not he killed Kempek. He was murdered. Poisoned.
A Klingon would not use poison. His murder would have no honor.
Kempek believed that it was either Duras or Gowron.
Well, I know little of Gowron, only that he is an outsider who has often challenged the council. But Duras, I know him.
That's Gowron.
Is that Kempek's body right there?
Kwabjina Gil.
Kwabjina Gil.
He's a little scary looking. They look a little too happy about stabbing that dead body.
Finish it here! Now!
Excuse me?
Two Klingons killed, a few minor injuries. Were you concerned about me?
As head of security, it is my duty to... I would have insisted we take the oath, but not just because of tradition.
Let down those walls, Worf.
You said you'd never be complete without me. It took some time, but I came to realize that I need you, too.
She-Duck.
Marshduck.
What's happening?
Can't allow you to suffer my humiliation. He may want to live in the Empire someday. He would be an outcast. Another traitor from a family of traitors.
Fat traitors, I don't believe that for a minute.
Tell her the truth.
Respect my wishes in this matter. I cannot take the oath with you, nor can I claim your son.
Our son.
The old forms dictated that the challengers perform the Jashuk. It's a long, involved ceremony in which the challengers list the battles they've won.
Can the old form still be used?
You can use whatever form you want. What do you know about Worf's discommendation?
Everything.
My interest is personal. I understand that you were there.
I'm sorry, I can't discuss it.
Complete the rite so I can kill this Kavida.
Oh my gosh.
Duras.
Ah!
You have already
Neither
proved
win.
you haven't the courage to face me. Perhaps you should plant another bomb.
Sit down.
He looks like that one Muppet.
We will begin the Jad-Juk.
This woman has been giving you bad advice, Picard.
It is my choice to respect the ancient rituals. Each of you will have to prove your worthiness to lead the High Council.
No. Do not think of it as a weapon. Make it part of your hand, part of your arm. Make it part of you.
Picard is prolonging the Jashuk. Why?
He has sufficient reason to proceed carefully.
He values your advice. You could quicken the pace.
What is the rush?
Have you never wondered about serving the Klingon Empire?
What do you want?
What do you want? A seat on the council.
You talk like a Ferengi.
Kimpek was also stubborn. He too refused to listen. Now he is gone. You need not make the same mistake.
Is that a threat, Muppet?
The bomb had a molecular decay detonator.
Only one race uses that device, sir. The Romulans.
Romulans.
Klingons and Romulans working together. They've been blood enemies for 75 years.
A new Klingon alliance with the Romulans?
It would represent a fundamental shift of power in the quadrant.
Gowron came to me alone. Implied I'd end up like Kimpek if I didn't cooperate.
It must be Duras.
Why?
We've had prior dealings with Duras that show him to be untrustworthy. As Chief Security Officer, I want you to accompany me to the next proceeding.
They will be incensed. My presence will be disruptive.
It will.
Counting on it.
We are ready for the final phase of the Juk. There will be a recess while I review your petitions. I'm sure you're as concerned as I am about the explosion aboard Kimpek's vessel. I assume that you are both continuing your investigations.
Investigations are complete. They revealed nothing of any importance.
Now, that's very surprising. Our analysis turned up some startling results.
What is this?
He has no place here, Picard.
I will not sit at the same table with that.
If you wish to withdraw from the Juk, that is your option. Proceed, Mr. Worf.
What did your investigations reveal about the explosion?
It was a bomb.
And was your analysis just as insightful?
It was a common explosive.
What about the detonator?
This is pointless.
Fortunately, our investigation was more thorough. The bomb used a molecular decay detonator.
Romulan device.
I will return to my ship to confirm these conclusions.
Interlock with the Klingon Imperial Information Net.
Interlock established.
She's gonna figure it out herself if no one will tell.
Computer, display summary of the most recent High Council inquiry regarding Kittimer Massacre.
Access denied.
By whose order?
Council member Duras.
Access biographical files. Councilor Duras.
I like her.
Seems Ambassador Kalar is looking into things she should not be.
Distract the guard for me.
Yes, sir.
I have been informed of your attempt to access restricted council records.
Not at all an easy task, considering that most of the records are sealed.
Worf's father was a traitor.
Oh!
I found it interesting to read that your father was also at Kittimer.
Dare insult my father's name.
What happened in that council chamber? How did you get Worf to take the blame for you?
The son betrays his people, just as his father did.
I couldn't understand it until I looked at the dino scans. This wound is different from all of the others. It was made from the inside out. Bomb was implanted in one of their forearms.
Considered an honorable way for a Klingon to die. A suicide that takes an enemy with it. Which one of them was it?
Duras' man.
When we have more time, I will take you to the holodeck and demonstrate in more detail. Medical emergency! Deck 8! Room 142! Gowron. Duras.
Oh my gosh! Faster! They wouldn't kill this. No!
Gaylor! Gaylor!
No! No! Where is our medical emergency team? Oh my gosh. That little boy just had to watch his mom die.
Always remember. Stay with the doctor.
Worf, when did you...
I can't believe they made Kalar die. No, Worf.
Computer, locate Lieutenant Worf.
Lieutenant Worf is not aboard the Enterprise. Lieutenant Worf transported to the Klingon ship Vorn at 1730 hours.
What is that doing here?
He has claimed the right of vengeance.
You have no rights here, traitor.
Kalar was my mate.
I'm the only one, Worf. The only one who can prove your innocence. Kill me and you're a traitor forever.
Like you would ever do that anyways.
Your service aboard the Enterprise has been exemplary.
I have acted within the boundaries of Klingon law and tradition.
The High Council would seem to agree. They consider the matter closed. Mr. Worf, the Enterprise crew currently includes representatives from 13 planets. They each have their individual beliefs and values, and I respect them all. But they have all chosen to serve Starfleet. If anyone cannot perform his or her duty because of the demands of their society, they should resign.
No. They murdered his mate. And the mother of his child.
Do you wish to resign?
No, sir.
I hoped you would not throw away a promising career. We all admired Kayla. A reprimand will appear on your record. Dismissed. Isn't it time for the truth about your father's innocence to be told? You only accepted this dishonor to protect the name of Duras and hold the Empire together. Now that he has died in disgrace, what is gained by further silence?
Each member of the Klingon High Council has shared in that lie. Will not be so willing to admit their own dishonor. The day will come when my brother and I will convince them to speak the truth.
What's gonna happen to Alexander?
My human parents will meet us at Starbase 73. They will care for you.
Why can't I stay with you?
You deserve a home, a family. They can provide that. I cannot. I miss her too.
Oh my gosh.
Are you my father?
Yes, I am your father.
Oh, buddy. I'm so mad about Kalar. So Gorgon is all automatically the leader? Kate, that was kind of a big deal episode. The only Klingons I liked were Worf and Kalar and Sweetie Alexander. I can't believe they killed Kalar. I'm happy Alexander's going to live with his grandparents. They seem really nice, and I'm glad I met them in the last episode, but Worf finally let down some walls, finally told her how much he loved her, and all she was doing is trying to figure out the truth. Right in front of their son. It was cruel. I'm not mad about Duras. Just gonna say that. He deserved it. I know all episodes can't have a happy resolution and, but I wish they would have just made her almost die. And then she would have said no, it was Duras. And then Dr. Crusher could have saved her. Worf has a son, and that's big. I mean, his whole life changed in that episode, so I'm glad I watched it, but sheesh. Okay, I want a fun one next. Thanks for watching along, guys. See you at the movies. Okay, now I'm gonna watch episode 11, Data's Day. I'm actually doing this live right now with Extra Butter tier patrons. Once a month, we do a live where we either do a live watch along like we're gonna do tonight, or just a chat, hang out, watch trailers. So if you wanna come hang out, this is what we do once a month for Extra Butter. It's so fun. I really look forward to it. It's such a more personal thing. I just get to chat to such a smaller group. So it's so fun. Anyways, so tonight we are watching Data's Day together. So if I look at my computer, I might be reading some comments as we go. Without further ado, let's go to space.
Officer's personal log. Stardate 44390.1.
It's Data's log.
Dear Commander Maddox, in reference to your most recent letter, I agree that your study lacks sufficient primary source information on my programming and operation. This correspondence will include a complete record of my activities during a normal day, with particular emphasis on my perceptions of friendship.
I love day in the life of videos.
I thought the father of the bride would enjoy being relieved early on the wedding day.
What did I miss?
Anything
Who's getting married? Oh, guys, I should watch all the episodes. I'm sorry.
Initially, Commander Maddox, I found it difficult to maintain friendship since human emotions are often puzzling to me. Eventually, I developed a program enabling me to predict human emotional responses to specific actions. It is time for the wedding rehearsal.
I know.
Who's getting married?
I've decided not to go through with it. I'm calling off the wedding.
I recognize her.
It's just the right thing to do.
Have your feelings for Chief O'Brien changed?
I'm supposed to be getting married, Data. I should be happy, but I'm not. I just feel this weight.
Will canceling the wedding make you happy?
Yes. He'll probably be just as relieved as I am. You introduced us to each other. I would really appreciate it if you would talk to Miles for me.
She's making Data break the news?
I have good news. Keiko has made a decision designed to increase her happiness. She has canceled the wedding.
Cancel the wedding?
Is that Chief O'Brien? He's the...
Of all the childish, selfish, irresponsible things to do.
Next time, maybe I should deliver the good news.
He's the guy who always beams him up. Okay, so Maddox is the one who wants to take him apart. It sounds like he has followed up on that, and Data's still like, no, I still don't think you really are ready. You know what? I feel like we do miss out that we don't know hardly anything about Chief O'Brien. Chief? I like his accent, and he always seems very nice, so this'll be good.
The Zukov is ready for transport, sir.
Energize.
Hello.
I would meet with your captain.
She looks like a Bene Gesserit.
I am closer to being Vulcan than human. I find their stark philosophy to be somewhat limited.
Ambassador T'Pel,
I come to serve.
your service honors us.
Leave us, please.
Hello. How do you do?
Try to keep my ears on straight today, all right?
Friendly insults and jibes, another form of human speech that I am attempting to master. I consider Geordie to be my best friend.
That was so sweet.
My hair does not require trimming, you lunkhead.
What?
It was not meant as a serious disparagement.
Just don't try it on the captain.
I consider Geordie to be my best friend.
He knows that Keiko probably doesn't want to call off the marriage. She's just getting cold feet.
Cold feet, a nervous reaction to an impending event of great importance.
She'll change her mind again.
She will.
Absolutely.
I don't know if she'll change her mind.
I find Lieutenant Worf to be what is called a kindred spirit. We were both orphans rescued by Starfleet officers. In many ways, we are both still outsiders in human society. Are you here to find a wedding gift?
Yes.
I would appreciate your help in selecting an appropriate item.
I have attended human weddings before.
Please pull up a toaster.
Hold.
This is a traditional gift. This does not remind me of you. Have you ever been an actual participant in a human wedding?
Human bonding rituals often involve a great deal of talking and dancing and crying.
He's not wrong.
Would you teach me to dance?
What?
I would like to learn how to dance.
Why me?
Awarded first prize tap and jazz competition, St. Louis.
Okay. That was a long time ago. And I don't want to be known as the dancing doctor.
That's exactly what I would want to be known as.
Let's keep this between you and me.
It's the holodeck.
Data, I want a tactical projection of possible Romulan deployments along the neutral zone.
Augustine says this episode really underscores that these are people living lives, not just crews doing missions. That's so true.
What is the current Romulan strategy behind the deployment of their ships in this sector?
Ships are deployed to support a policy of confrontation, designed to test Federation defenses along the neutral zone.
Is there any indication of a more conciliatory attitude on their part?
The mission must proceed as planned.
But I would feel better if you would consent to an escort or a...
She didn't like that.
Feline Supplement 74.
Data has a cat now?
Computer, run fluidic sensor diagnostic.
Am I intruding, Commander?
No. When one of my friends is distraught, I have learned that the thoughtful thing to do is to attempt to make him feel more comfortable.
First of all, I'd like to apologize for this morning at 10-4.
Would you like a pillow?
He's the best. Would you like a pillow? Every husband should watch this episode.
I came to ask for your help. It's about Keiko. Convince her to go through with the wedding.
Would Counselor Troy not be a more appropriate choice to speak with Keiko?
She already has. I just thought she might listen to you.
We don't want to force her. Why won't she even talk to him?
Oh, just talk with her. Make her see reason.
Perhaps she has not fully analyzed her decision. I will try.
Thank you, sir.
I just feel like once she said it feels like a heavy burden, that doesn't seem like a good sign.
Your decision was based on the assumption that canceling the wedding would make you happy. This has proven to be incorrect. The only advisable solution would be to re-examine your decision-making.
I knew what I was doing. It's my decision.
That fact is not in dispute. You may have acted with undue haste, and in doing so, unintentionally hurt Chief O'Brien's feelings.
Why are you doing this? I thought you were my friend.
I am your friend.
Then leave me alone.
If I have offended...
Just leave me alone.
In many ways,
something else
Deanna
going
Troy
on
is the
with
friend I
Keiko.
understand the least. Her life and her duties are predicated on her understanding and perception of emotions. Why do they not talk to each other? I've been studying various texts on the subject of marriage, but I have not found a suitable guide. I am attempting to calculate the variables involved in a successful marriage.
Would you like my advice on how to help them? Don't. This is something they have to work out for themselves.
She's not wrong.
Although I am an android, I have not excluded the possibility that I too may someday marry.
I had no idea you'd thought about getting married.
I believe I have much to offer a potential mate. However, we cannot grow old together because I will not grow old.
You do have a lot to offer.
He does.
Ambassador T'Pel, please report to my quarters.
Acknowledged.
I require information on this ship's defense and navigational systems.
Ooh.
What is the field strength of this ship's deflector shields at maximum output?
May I ask the purpose of your request?
I require this information.
I must report any inquiry regarding restricted information to the captain.
I was not interested in the information. I was curious as to your security safeguards. They appear to be adequate. Cancel the request. You may leave.
I have often wished for the sense that humans call intuition or instinct. Since Vulcans are
think she
incapable of
was-
lying, I must accept the ambassador's
Oh.
explanation as the truth.
Did I know that? That Vulcans are incapable of lying? They lied about what's his nuts? Sarek. They lied about him when he had the thing. They did go to the holodeck.
Stomp, hop. Try
Oh, we're tapping at the wedding.
Am I dancing, Doctor? Perhaps it would be beneficial to teach me the final lesson.
That's great.
Did he do it?
Stop, Data. Stop, Data. Not bad. Data, you never told me this was for the wedding.
Oh.
They don't do a lot of tap dancing at weddings. Why don't I just teach you a style of dancing that they will do at the wedding? Computer, run. Isn't it romantic? No, Data, wait a minute. Ow! No. You're just move slowly.
I cannot reproduce your performance if I cannot see your feet.
Well, let's try it again. And this time, watch my feet. Now, don't just imitate me. You've got to lead.
Oh my gosh. She'll lead him.
I'll lead.
Oh, they're so cute.
Now, smile. Act like you're enjoying yourself.
Dr. Crusher, her contractions are now 1 minute apart.
I'm on my way. Did you, program up an artificial dance partner?
Create dance partner. Female.
Oh, dang. Sexy lady. Oh my gosh, I can just picture my dad's laugh at this episode.
Sir, we have reached the designated coordinates.
Hold this position. Long-range scan.
I am detecting a ship in the neutral zone.
Romulan.
We are to proceed to the agreed coordinates.
Set course. Take us into the neutral zone, Ensign. I trust my crew, Ambassador.
What?
Hold position on these coordinates.
I am Admiral Mendak.
The logical course is that I transport aboard your ship and begin the negotiations.
Ambassador, we are honored by your presence.
They're still fighting a war against each other? Or do we have a treaty?
I urge you once more to reconsider.
I find your argument illogical.
Transporter emergency. I'm losing your signal.
Boosting power to auto sequencers.
Engaging computer override.
What?
Brian, what happened down there?
I'm losing the pattern. Trying to reestablish.
Oh no. Remember that
Sorry,
one
sir.
time?
I wasn't able to retrieve
Sorry,
the signal.
remember that one time on TOS when...
Ambassador's dead.
Dead? When they only beamed like half their bodies?
Backup systems and safeguards are designed to prevent just such an occurrence.
Could there have been some sort of interference from the Romulans?
That was my question.
Her molecular structure dissipated instantly once the pattern was lost. There were some organic compounds left on the pad, but there wasn't enough material to do an autopsy.
Is part of her material on the other side?
Ambassador T'Pel has been killed in a transporter malfunction. As soon as...
I should have known the Federation wasn't serious about this conference.
The Federation places the highest priority on this mission and its goal.
Well played, Captain. Starfleet opposes normalization of relations with the Romulan Empire.
No.
I am ready and willing to discuss the establishment of full diplomatic relations under the same terms as Ambassador T'Pel.
Since you know that we were willing to negotiate only with T'Pel, it was a maneuver worthy of a Romulan. I suggest we both leave the neutral zone before there is another.
Okay, but wait a second. What if that was his plan all along and he did screw something up with the transporter, kill T'Pel, and then use that as an excuse to...
I have subsequently become a great admirer of the fictional detective Sherlock Holmes.
That's right. This is like his dream.
One of his adages is that once you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
That was literally just in another movie I watched.
Have you compared the genetic code, the Ambassador's last recorded transporter ID traces?
No, that's not standard procedure. Why?
I could be chasing an untamed ornithoid without cause.
A wild goose chase? All right. Now, the breakdown of the organic material found on the transporter pad should be identical. Mitochondrial structure fits the general parameters. There's a slight discrepancy in the base pair sequence. The organic sample from the transporter is showing numerous single-bit errors.
Can you postulate an explanation for the discrepancy?
I'd say the DNA was either mutated by the transporter during the rematerialization process.
Or
these aren't the remains of the Ambassador.
Are you saying they beamed the Ambassador off our own pad?
While simultaneously, a small amount of genetically similar material.
And they actually really have her and she's alive?
Red alert. All hands stand to battle stations. You You have taken our ambassador captive.
I can assure you, there is no one being held captive.
We know about the transporter malfunction.
Malfunction. Oh, that's very close.
It is my responsibility to protect the lives of Federation citizens. Permit this abduction to succeed. I will take whatever action is necessary to obtain the return of the ambassador.
Do they have a second Romulan warbird?
Is he bluffing, or does he have the cards?
Sub-Commander Selak, actually.
Huh?
A spy.
A patriot, Captain. She has performed her service to the Empire with distinction.
Wait.
And we thank you for. I expect you to leave peacefully.
So is she actually a Vulcan or a Romulan, or a Vulcan that is on the Romulan side?
3 Romulan warbirds entering the sector.
Some days you get the bear, and some days the bear gets you.
Take us back into Federation territory. Warp 6.
And she really was collecting information for the enemy.
I have offended you and need to find a way to rectify my mistake.
You haven't offended me.
She is so familiar to me.
It would be best if you got dressed for the wedding. Oh.
So she wasn't a Vulcan? She was a Romulan? There's no way to tell? She's the mom in something. We don't even get to find out what the issues were and how they solved them? What her weight lifted off her shoulders was?
Since the days of the first wooden sailing ships.
He's marrying them.
There are still many human emotions I do not fully comprehend, but I am not mystified by the desire to be loved.
He's dancing.
I was looking for Dr. Crusher. The war is just.
At the same time we were facing destruction, a small miracle was taking place.
Every time.
Welcome aboard.
If being human is not simply a matter of being born flesh and blood, if it is instead a way of thinking, acting, and feeling, then I am hopeful that one day I will discover my own humanity. Until then, Commander Maddox, I will continue learning, changing, growing, and trying to become more than what I am.
How can an android be such a tender soul? Guess it's just like Spock. You know? Okay, we are back. We are about to watch Drumhead. I'm interested to see how this title plays into this episode. Okay, let's go.
For some weeks, we have had a Klingon exobiologist on board as part of a scientific exchange program.
Oh.
We suspect that he was involved in a security breach and in the possible sabotage of our warp drive.
Must be a mistake.
Schematic drawings of our dilithium chamber fell into Romulan hands.
I know nothing about it.
You accuse me because I am Klingon.
We've already contacted the Klingon High Council. He'll be returned home as soon as we finish our investigation.
It's hard to tell. He's very closed, but he is hiding something.
Or someone's framing him.
World, your name is not mentioned. It is as though you never existed.
He did that for you, brother.
Terrible burden for a warrior to bear, to become nothing, to be without honor, without the chance for glory.
He has honor here, more than you'll ever have.
It might help to restore your name if you could just take me to a shuttlecraft.
I don't know how you transferred secret information to the Romulans, but I will find out. When we inform the Klingon High Council, they will put you to a slow death.
He definitely did not deny it there. The Drumhead. You need a haircut, you Drumhead. I know he said lunkhead, guys. Don't worry.
If Starfleet Command was so concerned with your report, they brought me out of retirement. I think I should get right to work. First, I'd like to inspect the damage to your engine
She's
room.
like an investigator?
Maybe the Admiral would like to see the visual log of the explosion.
That's what happened.
This was logged 4 days ago at
Spot?
0300 hours.
The radiation in the engine?
The articulation frame collapsed.
That's one reason we tend to suspect sabotage.
We haven't found anything that suggests there was a malfunction anywhere along the line.
I think I'm going to need a full briefing before we go any further.
She's so, elegant.
Are you aware of any other Klingon-Romulan connection that Starfleet might have encountered recently?
I don't believe what Starfleet Command knows or doesn't know is for me to reveal.
This is my head of security, Lieutenant Worf.
I believe I know how he transferred information off the Enterprise.
Well done, Lieutenant.
A hyposyringe he uses to treat his Balthazar syndrome, modified to read data from Starfleet isolinear chips. He can extract digital information from a computer and transfer those sequences into a fluid in the syringe. Then he injects someone.
You can put information
in their bloodstream in the form of inert proteins.
Body itself becomes a conveyor of top-secret files.
You can convert files into liquid? Into your blood?
Hyposyringe. was discovered in your quarters.
I take injections. Everyone knows that.
But your injections do not include an optical chip reader. This device has but one function: to transform computer information into biological sequences.
Blood of all Klingons has become water. Since the Federation alliance, we have turned into a nation of mewling babies. Romulans are strong. They do not turn Klingons into weaklings like you.
Oh, wow.
You may have him confined.
I believe he's telling the truth.
Oh.
He admits stealing the files, but not sabotaging the dilithium chamber.
Someone else may be involved.
I think, Captain, you have a bigger problem on your ship than just one Klingon exchange officer.
Someone else who's siding with the Romulans? Captain's log. Really thought it was going to be a captain's log.
It was with the express command that we worked together on this problem as equals. My father taught me to avoid partnerships.
His judgments were required reading at the academy.
He was an extraordinary man.
She wasn't the one on Data's trial, was she?
All that I am, I owe to him. We're going to be quite a team.
Oh.
I don't mind telling you, I'm surprised. Frankly, when I first heard about your father, there are some who believe he betrayed your people to the Romulans.
What he did or did not do is no one's concern but my own.
I only meant before I saw you in action, I naturally considered you to be a possible security risk. But I want you to know you have the Admiral's and my complete confidence.
If there is a conspiracy on board, I promise you, I will find it.
You know exactly what we're up against. We're counting on you, Lieutenant.
You guys hear that, Rain?
And how often did Lieutenant Jadan come in for his injections?
How dare they put her on the stand? She can't be a suspect.
Now, I assure you, Mr. Tarsus, this is an informal inquiry. We are not accusing you of anything. However, if you would like counsel, it can be provided.
I have nothing to hide.
Tarsus, your records state that you were born on Mars Colony.
That's right.
Then you are human?
Largely. My paternal grandfather was Vulcan.
Tell me, what is your relationship with the Klingon Jadan?
I mean, there's no relationship. He just came in for his injections.
Did you give him those injections?
Sometimes. There were several of us, actually. I might have I've done it twice.
Why does he seem nervous?
Did you ever see him outside sickbay?
Once or twice in 10 Forward with a group of people.
I don't think there's need for more, Captain.
He's looking like he wants to say something else.
He's lying. He's desperately frightened. He's covering something. He's covering a lie. One so big it's overwhelming him. I think we found the man.
He looked scared, but innocent? I don't know how you can look innocent, but maybe just because he's a young little cutie.
I'm not happy about this use of a betazoid.
Do you have a betazoid counselor?
There is a difference between a counselor and an investigator. I would not act solely on the basis of her instinct.
Yes, he's right. There needs to be a backup evidence.
You're asking me to restrict Mr. Tarsi's movements solely on Sabin's feeling.
The important thing is to uncover the conspiracy on this ship. Now, if Tarsus is a possible saboteur, strongly suggest continuous surveillance.
I guess that's fair.
This is the frame for the hatch. It ruptured right along here.
Submicron fractures in the metal casing.
Those fractures suggest nothing more than simple neutron fatigue. I believe, sir, that the conclusion to our investigation must be that the explosion was not intentional.
This wasn't sabotage at all. It was nothing more than an accident.
I find that hard to believe.
That's what the science says.
Just because there was no sabotage doesn't mean there isn't a conspiracy on this ship. You think Jadan could have come on board the flagship of the Federation and accomplished what he did without help from within?
I agree it would be difficult. Not impossible.
We should continue to investigate Tarsus. He was hiding something.
Please, let me remind you, he is innocent until he is proved guilty.
Of course he is. What Sabin is saying is that he and Lieutenant Worf would like to establish his innocence.
He was acting so nervous, but I think it has nothing to do with... It's going to be like about his love life or something.
Open the hearing to spectators.
Spies and saboteurs don't like the bright lights of an open inquiry.
Okay, so we are treating him like a criminal.
I have assigned a counsel to you, person of Commander William Riker.
Yes.
Have you observed crewman Tarsus with Jadan?
Well, yes, he gave him his injection.
I meant outside of sickbay.
I think so, perhaps in 10 Forward.
And whom else have you observed at these occasions?
It was an innocent social gathering.
Admiral, if you have a case to make against Simon Tarsus, you had better make it. Otherwise, I'm stopping this here and now.
Mr. Tarsus, isn't it true that you have access to the biological supplies in sickbay?
Part of my job, yes.
Isn't it true that your security clearance allows you access to all the stores and files in sickbay?
Because I have access does not mean...
What would you say if I told you there is evidence that the explosion in the engine room was caused by a corrosive chemical?
It had nothing to do with that.
How can we believe someone whom we know to be a liar?
I object. There is no basis for calling crewman Tarsus a liar.
Thank you.
Mr. Tarsus, didn't you deliberately and premeditatively lie when you filled out your personnel application?
What?
Isn't it true that the paternal grandfather of whom you speak was not a Vulcan, but was in fact a Romulan? That it is Romulan blood you carry, and a Romulan heritage that you honor? We're waiting, Mr. Tarsus.
On the advice of my counsel, I refuse to answer that question in that the answer might serve to incriminate me.
Don't look happy about it. I don't know. I mean, there's obviously a stereotype and a judgment if he said he was part Romulan.
Do you see what is happening here, Mr. Worf?
I do.
A Drumhead trial.
I do not understand.
Military officers would upend a drum on the battlefield. Decisions were quick, punishments severe, appeals denied. Those who came to a Drumhead were doomed.
We know there is a traitor here.
We don't.
He refused to answer the question about his Romulan grandfather.
That is not a crime, Worf. Nor can we infer his guilt because he didn't respond.
Yes.
We cannot take a fundamental principle of the Constitution and turn it against a citizen.
Thank you. Say that in court.
The road from legitimate suspicion to rampant paranoia is very much shorter than we think.
He's so right.
All my life, I wanted to be in Starfleet. I went to the Academy's training program for enlisted personnel. I took training as a medical technician. The day that I was posted to the Enterprise was the happiest day of my life. Picture myself an officer. I know that it would have made my mother very happy.
You didn't do it.
I was 18 and eager. The last thing I wanted was to spend 4 years sitting in classrooms. I wanted to be out there, traveling the stars. Now it's done, isn't it?
No.
Not if you aren't guilty, Simon.
I lied on my application, and that mistake will be with me for the rest of my life.
You lied to him about the engine room. There were no volatile chemicals found there.
It was a tactic, a way of applying pressure.
It seems unethical.
And he told you he was a victim of circumstance, blameless and pure?
No. He admits his mistake in falsifying his application.
How can you be so incredibly naive?
Wow.
May I tell you how I've spent the past 4 years? From planet to starbase to planet. I have no home. I live on starships and shuttlecraft, but I have a purpose. My father taught me from the time I was a little girl, still clutching a blanket, that the United Federation of Planets is the most remarkable institution ever conceived. And it is my cause to make sure that this extraordinary union be preserved. I cannot imagine why you are trying to block this investigation. There have been others in the past who doubted me. They came to regret it.
Okay, easy there.
I report to Starfleet Command directly. I do not need your permission or your approval.
Okay, wow. Her arc is... meow.
Admiral Settee has ordered you to report to the interrogation room at 0900 hours. You are to be questioned before the committee.
Did he just get served on his own ship? I want Settee to be so wrong and so embarrassed when she's so wrong.
I'm deeply concerned about what is happening here. It began when we apprehended a spy who admitted his guilt and who will answer for his crime. But the hunt didn't end there. Another man, Mr. Simon Tarsi, brought to trial. And it was a trial. Trial based on insinuation and innuendo.
She's so eloquent.
Let us not condemn Simon Tarsis or anyone else because of their bloodline, or investigate others for their innocent associations. Do not continue with this proceeding.
She's way too much pride to end it now. There's no way.
Would it surprise you to learn that you have violated the Prime Directive a total of 9 times? I must say, Captain, it surprised the hell out of me. Looking into those reports, Captain. Very closely into those reports.
This just got personal, lady.
Could you tell us just what happened on Stardate 44390? You were transporting a Vulcan ambassador to Pell.
I was following orders to take this ambassador to a location near the neutral zone.
She was a Romulan spy.
When the deception was revealed, did you make any effort to retrieve her?
No.
She was the one that was making out with the Romulan
Even
captain,
though you
right?
knew she carried Federation secrets that she'd been accumulating for years.
The Enterprise could have been captured by the Romulans. Captain Picard did the only thing he could.
And where were you when this traitor was on board the Enterprise?
Don't you think it's questionable judgment, Captain, to have a security officer whose father was a Romulan collaborator?
Lieutenant.
Tell me, Captain. Have you completely recovered from your experience with the Borg?
Yes, I have completely recovered.
Being forced to use your vast knowledge of Starfleet operation to aid the Borg. Just how many of our ships were lost? 39. And a loss of life, I believe, measured at nearly 11,000.
Holy crap, you manipulative little weasel lady.
I question your actions, Captain.
Can the Starfleet guy
I question
jump
your
in
loyalty.
for racism and what's the
Words I've known since I was a schoolboy.
what's the
But
word?
the first link, the chain is forged. The first speech censored, the first thought forbidden, the first freedom denied, chains us all irrevocably. Those words were uttered by Judge Aaron Satie. First time any man's freedom is trodden on. We're all damaged. I fear that today...
How dare you! You who consort with Romulans, invoke my father's name to support your traitorous arguments, and to hear those words used to subvert the United Federation of Planets. My father was a great man.
He didn't deny that.
You dirty his name when you speak it.
Nothing has been proven.
I will expose you for what you are. I brought down bigger men than you, Picard. I have nothing more to say.
Perhaps we should call a recess.
Until tomorrow.
It's like when you have a theory or idea or something that you make yourself believe, you will find evidence to support that. Things were taken out of context, things were twisted.
It is over. Admiral Henry has called an end to any more hearings on this matter.
That's good.
Admiral Satie has left the Enterprise.
Also good.
I did not see what she was.
Mr. Worf, villains who twirl their mustaches are easy to spot. Those who clothe themselves in good deeds are well camouflaged.
I think, after yesterday, people will not be so ready to trust her.
But she, or someone like her, will always be with us, waiting for the right climate in which to flourish, spreading fear in the name of righteousness. Vigilance, Mr. Worf. That is the price we have to continually pay.
Oh my gosh, Picard for president. It's crazy how so many of these episodes, you see how good Star Trek is in weaving, modern issues or social commentary into their episodes. And it's not over the top and it's not like, beating it into you. They just show examples and make it really real for you. This whole thing reminded me in 5th grade, I did a report on the Japanese internment camps in Canada during World War II. So during World War II, when we were at war with Japan, in Canada, the government rounded up people of Japanese descent, some of whom were Canadian citizens, some of whom had never even been to Japan, and imprisoned them. And I interviewed some men who were there and relatives were there, and I remember so distinctly, in my very naive 5th grade mind, just not being able to make sense of that. What? You didn't have anything to do with this, but just because and it was so easy for me to see that as a 5th grader that didn't make sense. But like Picard said, have we come so far that we're gonna base our assumptions on people of their parents, grandparents, or anyways, made you think, didn't it? But I love an investigation episode. Anything in that vein is so interesting to me. It was satisfying the way that one ended, but I almost wanted more justice for, what was the kid's name? Tarsis? I wanted I don't know, a formal apology from Starfleet and maybe a scholarship to go back to the Academy if he wanted to or something. I don't know. Don't you think that would have been satisfying? They probably did. In my head, they did, just now. Okay, I'm just loving these episodes. Season 3 and 4 have been so good. My next to watch is the finale, a 2-parter, and I don't think it's gonna disappoint. So I'll see you next time. Gracias.